Let it let it
Looks like I made it. I made it. I made it. Let it out. Welcome. Welcome. Is it kits or kites? Look like you were the first one in tonight commenting at 6:30. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you with us tonight. Welcome, Dominique. Patient, but with anticipation. Tasha Ross, good evening. Diana, welcome. Coach Ebony, welcome. Renee, Priscilla, Roxanne, Nicole, welcome. Pastor Audria, Special, welcome. Sylvia, welcome. Tennille, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, Pastor Beverly, Evangelist Gwen, Chevelle. Ashley, welcome. Welcome, 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 Diane Washington. Darlene Henry, welcome. Welcome, Carla. Mimi, welcome. Crystal Adgers, Gwen Molden. Celine's, welcome. Coach Latanya, Anna. Ramanita, Candy Oates, welcome. Keisha, Jenny, Pastor Sandra, good evening. Mrs. Mary's Place, welcome. Please, while we're doing the introduction and the welcome, please go ahead and click like, kick it up on YouTube and on Facebook. But definitely I need you on YouTube. Welcome, Carla Townsend. Sandra, welcome. Our Cherie, welcome. Prophet Elitza, Priscilla, Karen Jamison, hello. Welcome. Reverend Ronnie Bonner, good evening. Welcome, Erica Carpening, Camille. Vanessa Boland, Cynthia Baisden. Welcome, Reverend Daniel Woodard. Best seat in the house. Go ahead. She already claimed it. Go ahead, Karen Jamison. Gwen Tucker, Nicole Coleman, Nicole Nicholson. God bless y'all. God bless you. God bless you. Carol, Lisa Palmer, Pastor Vell. Welcome, Jeannie, Caritha, Latrice. She's shouting out the family. Hello, family. Nana, welcome. Frederica. Anya, Elder Manny, Dixie, come on in, Angela, welcome. Shaylin, hello, dear. Stacy, Deja, Nicole Arnold, welcome. Rhonda Johnson, Camille Rookwood, and Jacinta. Welcome, our architect for the evening. Welcome. All right, we're going to let a few more come in while we start our house rules and house cleaning that we have to do. It's welcome. Welcome, E. Sylvia. It's blurry. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm on the Ethernet. Anyone else have anything blurry going on? Good evening, Joycey. Anyone else see anything blurry? Okay, thank you. It's not blurry, so it's something with your internet connection. Thank you. Awesome. You guys rock. All right. Welcome. So Detox 2022, and we are on day 7. I'll correct that when we're done with the broadcast, so it's uploaded with the correct information. Day 7. When I schedule these sessions, I schedule them on the actual day before. So that's why sometimes I get a little thrown off when I'm trying to upload to our podcast, and I'm still trying to get the only got up to day 2 on Instagram. I don't know why I'm having trouble now uploading, but welcome. So good to see y'all here today. How are you doing? Right now, there's 86 of you on, and I'm a little concerned. First, I want to give a clap and a bow to those that came back, that showed up for more. I am proud of you. Because I really challenged you. I'm going to say I really challenged you on last night, but listening to all of the comments, it sounds like you all have been challenged since day 1. A couple people had inboxed me, said they wouldn't be on tonight, but they just wanted me to know that they weren't running and dodging, that they just had other important engagements going on tonight. So welcome. We were able to go out tonight and have dinner. It's really our first evening out all of this month, this new year. So it was nice to get out, and I like to go down to Essex. So we went down to Essex to this place, and we zoomed down and we zoomed back, and we made it and got out a little bit. My husband is an early to bed person, and I will get in the bed when he does, but God knows I don't go to sleep. And our schedule is just it's not good. It really isn't. And when we were in premarital counseling, we had talked about that our timing was off and we needed to get it together. And we're about 13 years in on this thing, and we still haven't gotten it together. So I'll have a movie night tonight by myself, because he will be getting some of the best Z's that I had probably ever seen anyone get. He'll go to bed 9:30 and be done with life. 1:11, and I'm still looking at the clock, looking at the TV, and looking at him like, if I could go to sleep that early, what I would do. So needless to say, he goes to bed about 4 hours before me. So he gets up 4 hours before me. And it's just, we just rock and roll here the best way we can. So bless God and welcome. Please remember, your husband is the same way. I'm up at night by myself. Sometimes a couple people would text me, and then I would, have a few conversations going. Otherwise, I just try to watch something on TV or read, or I try to work, but he doesn't like me working like that time of night. So, which is good for me not to do it. I'm glad he's that way. But the schedule is just a little weird. So welcome to different time zones. Absolutely. All right. So remember, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast from. We are there. You can catch us on Instagram, YouTube for the rest of the days until YouTube decides not to have it itself exist anymore. And let's see. I think that's all I need to talk about with that. And the coaches are in. Hopefully you have the coach's email address. If not, we will have it at the end of the session. Welcome to your session. It's just you and I here. Come on in, close the door behind you, take a seat, and let's talk about you. We've been dealing with your level of awareness when it comes to self. We've discovered that you are fairly aware of things in the world, and we realize that you are fairly aware of who God is as a whole. And we realize that you have a belief that has kept you motivated and enduring up through these days in your life. We realize that. We've learned that. But what we have not been working as hard on up until we started this January 2022 is your level of awareness to self. And we asked the question, we posed the question, we challenged you with who am I? And if I would say so myself, that was a bit challenging, wasn't it? That was a bit challenging. I'm going to hit a button here real quick. Just tell me if you can still hear me when I ask, please. I want to make sure this isn't a mute. Good evening. Can you still hear me? Is it any different? Can you still hear me? And does it sound any different? Yes. Great. I know y'all have a delay from what I'm saying, so just making sure your yes is yes, we can hear you. Okay. All right. Y'all know I'm a techie, so I like buying gadgets and playing with gadgets. So if you need any gadgets, I got y'all back. I got everything. So you've been dealing with your level of awareness with yourself. And we posed the question, thank you, Diane Washington, who am I? Who am I? Thank you, husband from the other room. Sounds the same. Okay, Keisha, thank you. Who am I? What do I want out of life? What do I want in the future? Who am I? What should I do next? What do I think about becoming self-aware? Who am I? How am I feeling physically right now? How am I feeling emotionally right now? Who am I? Those should be some of the writing in your journal for the first few pages when you start it, under your who am I. I want to thank a few of you have actually sent in your emails today where you answered the questions that were posed to you last night in the extension of our session, which is called soul work. That's the part you take home and you work on and you bring back into our session together. And I challenged your thinking on last night, but I want to work. I want to take a little mountain walk to where we were on last night. And I want to ask you, have you learned your patterns of thought? Have you learned your patterns of thought? How do you tend to think and explain what happens to you? How about your pattern of emotions? How well do you understand your moods and emotions? I've even noticed myself going through this again. You know, this is something I do with myself every year, my personal development plan on becoming self-aware. I've been working on for a couple of years. And I've even noticed when I'm explaining something to my husband, I'm using different words now, where the words are coming up a lot clearer than they did last year or the year before with how I feel about a situation or how I'm feeling at the moment. And my mind automatically registers it. And I'm like, okay, this is working. This is working. I'm identifying. I am showing up in the room with more than just a physical body. I'm showing up with an expression of how I feel. And I'm actually to engage in a conversation clearly by recognizing how I feel emotionally and physically at that moment. I have an opinion to share that's coming from a level of self-awareness, but is not being dictated or biasly stated by my emotions to what's going on in the room. Am I with you? And are you with me? Do you recognize your patterns of behavior? Do you understand why you tend to act in the same way in certain situations? We talked about all of that. We talked about the types of self-awareness and the purpose for self-awareness to remind you why you were getting on board. We want to increase our social abilities. We want to do something great this year and with the rest of our life. So we need to learn how to show up socially. We need to be more open-minded about things. We want to be more productive. We want to improve in our leadership, whether it's as an auntie, a mommy, a grandma, an employee that's given certain tasks, whether it's ministry, pastoral, entrepreneurship, executive level. We want to improve in our leadership skills, how we show up. Remember, leadership isn't about bossing people. Leadership is about influence. We discussed that even pumping your gas, going inside to pay for your gas, there's a level of influence on you automatically. How do you know this? Because there's judgments made about you, just how a first impression. There's a level of influence about you. You're always influencing people, so you don't want to show up passive in that leadership. You want to show up as a confident, self-aware leader. Being self-aware promotes an overall objectivity in your life. It means that you are able to be self-confident because you can make decisions without being clouded by the poor judgment that you used to have. Good evening, Bernard Howard. You'll have a better understanding of what affects your beliefs. What affects your beliefs? First, you have to learn your beliefs, learn your values, and then put up boundaries, put up invisible fences to protect them. Better understand what affects your beliefs. If you have someone in your life that doesn't line up with your beliefs, what are you doing? What do you expect to come from this? But a lot of contention, conflict, stress, maybe power struggles, both of you trying to control one another. Because you don't understand that you have beliefs and values that are different or other than the beliefs and values of this other person that you're thinking about forming a relationship with. But because you want relationship, you think you can ignore the things that make you who you are. That's like for those that came up as defenders. You know, you meet someone and they don't appreciate you being a defender, but that's my personality. So what is your reason for dating someone whose values and beliefs are completely different than yours? Maybe he's a little more traditional, you're a little more modern. That is a recipe for contention, disaster, conflict, power struggles. When you respect yourself enough, when you have a healthy self-esteem, it causes you to respect yourself enough to know he's good looking, he has a great career, he's a great man, but he will never be for me because our beliefs and values are different. Why do we think that we can put aside our values and differences for a long period of time? You can hide them in the dating process, but for a long period of time and expect no repercussions to come in the relationship. And how long or how far or how low are you willing to go to put away your beliefs and your values for relationship? Yes, co-worker relationships, girlfriend relationships, intimate relationships. Me too, Renee. I wish I knew that a long time ago too. All right, Stacy Turner, thank you. Being self-aware improves your critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to process and analyze information from an objective perspective. Improves decision-making. Allows you to be calmer in life. Being more self-aware allows you to be calmer in life. Now that sounds like an oxymoron, right? Because that's not at all how you feel right now. That's not at all how you feel right now. But when you become more self-aware, when you become self-aware at a higher level, your moods are much calmer. You're not as moody. Anybody want that? Hallelujah. I want to thank Cheryl Comer, I'm sorry. An order just came through. Thank you for ordering while we're online here. Thank you. I want to thank God for, who is this? Oh, it just says we're live. But I didn't read my other business yet. I'm so jumping into the lesson. And I think I have it written here. Calmer moods, clearer thinking and decision making. Are you tired at how poor your judgment is, how long it takes you to make a decision, how indecisive you are when it comes to making decisions? Or how about this? You make decisions and then you can't sleep at night because you are doubting the decisions that you made. Being more self-aware not only allows you to have clearer thinking, better decision making, but you don't have to think about things so long and you don't have to lose sleep. Increase productivity in your life. Remember, the most common cause of procrastination and poor productivity isn't a lack of effort or commitment on your part. It's the interference from yourself. You'll have more empathy. That was really important, to have more empathy. Okay, I think I'm going to touch on that tonight if we get to this part. Just a little house cleaning work, and then we're going to go over last night's soul work that you were given. I want to thank Ashley for her Cash App donation, Carla R for her Cash App donation, Anna, thank you for your Cash App donation, Carmen, thank you for your Cash App donation, Edith, thank you for your Cash App donation, and Nakisha, thank you for your Cash App donation. I want to thank you for those who have subscribed to YouTube. I want to thank Amber Craft, Ernestine Woodard, Diane Gonzalez. Thank you all for subscribing to YouTube. And I want to appreciate those who are taking time to post comments on YouTube. I want to thank Cheryl Johnson, Beverly Baker, Ashley Otero, Tasha Ross, and Carmen Palmer. Thank you. This is how we are able to do what we do. This is how we are able to do what we do. So, drum roll, let's talk about your work. Let's talk about your work. How many can say, we have 107 only on here tonight, but how many can say that they started the homework from last night, what we call soul work? Did you start it? That's right, Pastor D. Self-aware people are more empathetic. As he said, it's done. Oh, yes. Thumbs up. I did. I started. That's right, because it's not going to end. You're going to work on this all year. It was a challenge. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And the challenge is good. And it's showing you that you need to be here. You're in the right place. All right, Misha. Yes, Sandra. Very good. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but the part that I really just want to stress for you guys to make sure you get it. Very good, Erica and Vanessa and Chevelle. Very good. Did anyone hear back from anyone yet regarding if you could see a pattern in my life, what would it be? Did you hear back from anyone on that yet? I did get, I think, 2 emails where people actually got to this section. And one young woman who is a client of mine went to her brother and had her brother answer these questions for her. And I'm sure that it blessed her to know how he thinks about her and this time in her life, this time of the year. Yes, 2 people. Good. I did. Completed my portion, waiting for feedback. Awesome. Started. Very good, Cynthia Bazin. Good. Gonna watch the replay, Ramanita. Very good. Hashtag replays. Always a blessing. And you want to know if you could change one thing about me, what would it be? And tell them, don't be afraid. I don't want to hear how great and perfect I am. Tell me if I'm too soft. Tell me if I'm too hard. Tell me if I contradict myself. Tell me that you wish I was a better cook. It doesn't matter. Just give me something. And then don't be surprised, guys. They may want you to give them something back. So you can ask them, if you want me to answer this for you, I would work on it for you as well. That would be my gift to you, because it is a gift. Dominique said yes, and I was a little shocked. Anna says, I started mine and submitted the challenging questions to friends and coworkers. Great. I was mean. You were told you were mean, Carla? Good. CW is going to start it tonight with her replay. Awesome. And then one of the other important questions I just want to touch base on, describe me. Just have them describe me. And then a step further is if you have a brand, or maybe you can say something like, if I was a brand, describe me as a brand. It's important stuff. This is some really good coaching that y'all are getting. I believe you all recognize it. You've been getting some really good coaching. All right. So if you notice, we posted it up tonight in the segment, and our solutions secretary, Ebony, did go ahead and put it in an assessment format. So if you need it, you just want to answer it online to send it into your coach. We have that available, but please make sure, more importantly, it's in your journal, because this is something that I want you to do, your introspection work. I want you to look back at it, look over it throughout the year. Do not let this end on January 31st when we let everything end. Do not let this wonderful work end on the 31st. So look inside yourself. What do you do well? What do you like to do? What do you not like to do? Isn't those important opposing questions? What do you repeat regularly because it works? Or what do you repeat regularly and you know it doesn't? How do you describe yourself? What do you stand for? Do you have a development plan? Some of you, if you want, when we're done, just sign up for the coaching just for working on a development plan, and then work on that for a year and come back next year and say, okay, I worked on my development plan with you. I need to tweak it in a few areas, or I want to start my next development plan. Even if you did one yearly session to set up a development plan, you're at least investing something in yourself. Ooh, someone sent it to their son. Awesome. All right, let's go on down here. I'm going to wrap up this little part, well, this big part. In all of this above research that we've discussed, honesty and clarity are key. Did you hear that? Only a fool fools himself. We're not going to do that. We're going to be honest as we can. Only a fool fools themselves. You need to be honest with yourself, and others need to trust that you will accept their information in the spirit in which it is intended. And you can tell them that as well. Tell them, I am asking for your honesty, and my promise to you is that I will receive the answers back in the spirit in which it was intended. Very good. Honesty and clarity are key. You need to be honest with yourself, and others need to trust that you will accept their information in the spirit in which it was intended. Answering the questions you are asking is to build your self-awareness and develop steps to become the person and leader you want to be. At the end of your personal assessment and research, you will want to take time to see where opposites or similarities lie in these responses. Use this information to create a personal development plan for yourself. A personal development plan can be built as a goal sheet with clear action points that will help improve the skills you would like to develop. Revisiting this plan quarterly to note your progress and make adjustments will help you reach your goals. Try hiring a coach for a year or more and watch the growth increase in quality and speed. When you discover things that are great about yourself, you need to take action to leverage those strengths so they help build your development areas into stronger components of your leadership. Not easy, but a very valuable exercise. Not easy, but a very valuable exercise. All right, let me see. Do I want to go back or do I want to go forward? Remember, I'm coming from my book, so y'all are getting a rough draft. And I actually had some printed in like the binders for those of y'all who have purchased my notebooks. I have my manuscript actually, see if I can get it up here, work with me. This lens is not going to let us do it. But I actually had, it's funny because the book will show, here we go, a little bit of it, right? We, see how easy the book shows? And then this one gets a little funny. But I've actually had my manuscript posted in a notebook like that. And that's what I was going to read from until I realized it was easier to read from it online. So I'm considering offering a few people the manuscript edition before it's on Amazon or in print, where you would get it just like a notebook, but it would be the actual book. I'm actually considering that. So think about that with me. Maybe you can ask me in a day or two. Hello, Araceli. Yes, Karen Jameson. It's a new book. It's not published yet. It will be published this month. But if you want it in advance, email me, because I'm thinking about, it won't have all of the ISBN numbers and all that it will have once it goes live. But I think y'all might like it in an 8x11 notebook sheet, right? Yeah, that's dope. Oh, please. Yay. Okay. I think I'm getting some positive responses. Thank you for your feedback. I promise to receive it in the spirit in which it was intended. Amen. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. You are unapologetically yourself. I think I want to go back up just for a minute because I don't want to skip over some sections here, and we're doing all right with time. Let's look at this for a moment. I don't want to talk about gratitude, not tonight. Let's talk about, wow, this is some good stuff. See, I put my books together in pieces as I'm learning or as the inspiration comes by the Holy Spirit when I'm in some of these crazy classes that these higher learning centers give us, but the Holy Spirit would just take it and show it to me in a kingdom way. And it's just, I just by inspiration will start writing down. Okay, we talked about all of that. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to go back up. Well, no, that means I'll have to give you another assessment, and I'm not ready to do that yet. All right. So I'm going to go back this way. I'm going to go back up this way. I do want to have one night. So let me make that note now as well. I do want to have one evening where you all get your personality assessments in front of you. And I want to go over some sections with you on it. Personality assessment night. I'm going to have you take out your personality assessment, and we'll spend maybe 30 minutes or so going over it, because I want you to get a better understanding of how you can increase productivity, increase the wording on your resume, how you can use it to gain revenue and economy for your life. All right. We'll go here. All right, very good. Let's go. Signs you are more self-aware than you may think. There are signs that you are more self-aware than you may think. Who am I? I'm ambitious. I'm curious. I'm goal-oriented. I'm strong-willed. I'm independent. I'm a learner. I'm an achiever. Not a single person has an exact answer to this question. However, if something close to these answers crossed your mind, congratulations. You are more self-aware than you think. But what does it mean to be self-aware? So take the time, give yourself some credit, give yourself a hand, because last night someone came on and said, I'm an introvert. Someone else came on and said, I'm an adventurer. I'm a defender. What were some of them? Come on, post them up here tonight. Post what yours was, because a few more of you have taken the personality assessment. So let me just get away from this lesson for a moment and let me just see your post. I want you to tell me who you are according to your personality assessment. And not right. There we go. Mediator, diplomat, advocate. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Defender, protagonist. Ooh, these are moving fast. I tried to get protagonist and that thing is gone already. I'm a campaigner, adventurer, protagonist, counsel. I'm a warrior. I'm an architect. Oh, I want to talk to you. Defender, diplomat, advocate, logistician. Oh my Lord, this is good. Protector. Observer. Very good. A people watcher. Huh. Advocate. Come on, Vicky. Virtuoso? Oh, we need to talk for real. Protagonist. Introvert and still need to read more. Ashley, read more. Let's go. No, I need to read more. Read more. Don't get in the way and cause procrastination. I'm an image consultant. You better go on, girl. What did you show up on the personality assessment, Karen? Advocate, mediator, turbulent. Ooh. So give yourself credit. You are more self-aware now. Campaigner. Ooh. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, Isebe. Virtuoso. These are exciting. So we'll have one evening. I'll give you a little notice. You can gather them together. Did y'all hit the next button to get more information? It was still free. Did you hit to read the profile information so that you can actually get those like 4 or 6 extra sheets, your strengths, your weaknesses, friendships, relationships? Did you get all that? Karen, I'm going to take your sticker back. Good, good, good. Good. I need y'all to do this. I need you. Yes, Angela Witt, come on. I need you to do this because I'm investing all this time in you. Don't waste the time. Remember when we started out a long time ago? Airtime is expensive. Try to get a commercial up for 30 seconds during the big playoff games and find out how much the Super Bowl commercial space costs you. Airtime is expensive. All right, Karen, you and Ashley are on my list. Ebony, make sure. Who are their coaches? So what does it mean to be self-aware? Many people think that self-awareness is this grandiose skill that only super smart people understand. But this is far from the truth. If you have fallen victim to this type of thinking, I want to share some signs that you may be more self-aware than you think you are. And I'm going to share, let's see, we're doing pretty good right there. See if I can share. How many points did I make? Boy, when I research. There's 12 points, but I may not do all 12. You can get it when you get the book. How about that? Signs that you may be more self-aware than you think you are. Number 1. Awesome, Pastor Beverly. Thank you. Number 1, you think about your thought processes. You think about your thought processes. How do I know if that's me? Thinking is a part of our everyday lives. We wake up and think about simple things such as making breakfast. Sometimes we're faced with serious problems and think about ways to deal with them. But how often do you think about how much you think? How often do you think about what you think? In psychology, psychologists know the process called metacognition, which is the whole theme for 2022. Did you see it on the flyer? Metacognition. Psychologists understand this terminology, and you're going to understand it as of tonight. Perfect. There we go. Metacognition. In simple words, metacognition, it's thinking about what you're thinking about. It's thinking about what you're thinking about. And not many of us spend time in metacognition. We never take the time to think about what it is we're thinking about. Metacognition. Come on, metacognition. It's thinking about what you're thinking about. If this process is familiar to you, you probably won't be surprised by discovering that metacognition helps you become more self-aware. It helps you become more self-aware. Metacognition. I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about. Often you would tell somebody, I'm thinking right now, give me a minute. I'm processing right now, give me a second. But how often do you take the time to think about the thoughts that you've been having? Now that's different because you're not thinking specifically on what I want for dinner. What direction do I want to go? What do I want to wear tomorrow? What do I want to eat for breakfast? You're not thinking about specifics. You're thinking about what you think about. Ooh. And it does make you more self-aware. Do you have a deep understanding of your thoughts? Do you try to criticize popular opinions instead of accepting them unconditionally? If the answer is yes, then you can use your thoughts to move forward and become more self-aware. I'm going to read that again. Do you have a deep understanding of your thoughts? Remember, we talked about those patterns, emotional patterns, behavioral patterns, thought patterns. This is what we're talking about now. Do you have a deep understanding of your thought patterns? Do you try to criticize popular opinion instead of accepting them unconditionally? If this answer for you is yes, then you can use your thoughts to move forward and become more self-aware. Number 2, I'm going to try to make you see somewhere in here that you may be more self-aware than you realize. You are unapologetically yourself. If you are unapologetically yourself, you are more self-aware than you've given yourself credit for. If you aren't afraid to speak your truth for fear that others won't accept you for who you are, these chances are you've got a high level of self-awareness. Self-aware people live from a place of integrity. They are unapologetically themselves in the sense that they don't allow the noise of others' judgments to veer them off track. In other words, they know how to stay in their lane. Took me years to get there, but I have finally successfully made it there. But it took mentoring and coaches for me. How do I know if I have some level of self-awareness right now? You are a master of your emotions. You are a master of your emotions. When life doesn't go your way, self-aware people don't react and throw in the towel. They understand that irrational behaviors only make you spiral into a negative hole. Hence, they stop and think before they respond to challenges. They know that if they don't master their emotions, come on, their emotions will master them. By becoming aware of their emotions, they can maintain a sense of clarity and peace of mind no matter what is going on in the environment around them. Yeah, come on. Come on. This is the next big one. You ready? How do I know if I'm self-aware? Number 4, you listen to yourself. You listen to yourself. Self-aware individuals pride themselves on their ability to pay attention and tune into what is happening inside of them. Your intuition rarely ever lies to you. I have yet to meet anyone who has said to me, my gut is a liar. Self-aware people listen to what their gut tells them. When something doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. By trusting the messages or feelings that they are receiving, self-aware people are better able to make better decisions that positively influence their lives. Self-aware people have a better relationship with the Holy Spirit as they can better accept his presence in their lives. Now, you know that's powerful. That's powerful. Now, did you get the whole diagnosis here? Did you get the last line of the prescription? Oh, no? Okay, I'm going to read it again for you. Self-aware people have a better relationship with the Holy Spirit as they can better accept his presence in their lives. There's a big difference there. Listening to yourself as believers, as spirit-filled believers, it's easier to accept the Holy Spirit's presence in your life because you're so self-aware. He is a part of you to a greater degree. Number 5, you're very honest with what you love, what you hate, and everything else in between. You have strong opinions on certain things and aren't afraid to share them with tact and only when it's appropriate. Because you want to win them, not repel them. You don't pretend to have strong opinions on things you generally have a neutral stance on. You also don't try to force yourself to love something you hate or to hate something you love. Come on, I got to look at the comments for this. Yes, yes, yes. Come on. I've got to look at the comments for this. Self-aware people do not pretend to love things they hate or hate things they love. That's me all day. And when I used to try to do it for diplomatic reasons, my face would say, she lying. And my heart would be, shut up. You're going to get us in trouble. And my head would be like, I don't care what y'all want to do. Just let's make up our mind. But my face would be like, no. You cannot. That's right. Come on, drop these mics. Come on. You don't take the time to love the things you hate and hate the things you love. Ooh, that's a good one. Prophet Erica says, yes. And when I try to love things I hate, it gets messy. I agree. Mic dropping, people laughing. Yeah. All right, let's go. 6, you tend to overanalyze the way you come across to other people from every single angle possible. You don't want to talk too much and you don't want to talk too little. You think about what you want to say and carefully phrase it in a way that benefits you and then the people you're speaking to. You want to be considerate of other people's time. You're polite and aren't too keen on burning bridges or saying things just out of impulse. You know when to stop yourself before getting too vulnerable. You also use your overly self-conscious tendencies for good and make sure you're well-groomed and presentable. You understand the power of presenting yourself in a manner that is neither fake nor inconsiderate. Come on. That's a big one. We definitely want to spend some time on that one if we have more time in the 30 days. I have to talk to people all the time. Why is it okay for you to show up like that? Do you think you're keeping it real? Because you're keeping it real, but you're showing people a real ignorant side. You're showing people a real immature side of you. Why do you think that it's okay to show up like this? And eventually they get it. But at first, of course, they don't like me. But that's part of my job in the beginning. Most people won't like me until they can have an appreciation for what I do. Number 7, boundaries again. If you have strong boundaries, you are pretty well self-aware. Self-aware people don't let others walk all over them. They know that they can't be all things for all people, which is why they establish strong boundaries with others. Setting a boundary is the ability to recognize the need for a healthy separation between your thoughts and your feelings and the thoughts and feelings of others. Ooh, Ooh, drop the mic, drop the mic. I'm going to have to post that one myself. My. Speak, Jesus. There we go. Setting a boundary is the ability to recognize the need for a healthy separation between your thoughts and feelings and the thoughts and feelings of others. Oh, yeah, Sharon, I know you did because I did. Boundaries is a big one. But once you get used to it, it's like you look for them. Oh, there's a boundary gap here. There needs to be a boundary here. Man, this happened because I didn't have a boundary. Shucks, this relationship almost was ruined because I didn't have a boundary in place. You begin to see your responsibility in the relationship. Boundaries are essential. That's correct. Setting a boundary is the ability to recognize the need for a healthy separation. Don't let your false belief about boundaries cause you to feel some negative connotation when the word boundary comes up. The need for boundaries is a healthy separation between your thoughts and your feelings, and then the thoughts and feelings of other people. By taking care of their emotional needs as well, self-aware people are better able to take care of themselves. Number 8, you don't expect life to give you special privileges. You don't expect life to give you special privileges. You acknowledge that fulfillment isn't about making the world see you as a more significant or nobler than anyone else, and that many constraints and barriers can hinder you, but you work with what you have instead of complaining about how unfair life is. You don't expect to be given more than what you'd put in. You don't expect to be given more than what you put in. This is a good marriage class right here. Yes, Ebony, thank you. Number 9, you don't get defensive when people criticize you. If you're good with this, you are more self-aware than you knew. You understand that while people's opinions of you don't define who you are, you take the time to listen and consider that you might have a few unresolved issues that only you can take the time to find solutions for. You know that reacting defensively is a warning sign of insecurity. Well, what y'all think about that? Shall I read it again? Anybody want to put a quarter in the jukebox and let's play it again? You do not get defensive when people criticize you. You understand that while people's opinions of you do not define who you are, you take the time to listen, though, to consider that you might have a few unresolved issues that only you can take the time to find solutions for. Only you can take the time to find solutions for. You know that reacting defensively is a warning sign of insecurity. Play it again, Sam. One time I was in a meeting, I think it was with my elders, and Minister Brittany, who's a fivefold biblical teacher to the max, said to me, Apostle, what is it like when you're with people? Are you able just to pick up insecurity? Are you able to pick up procrastination? Are you able to just pick up jealousy? Are you able to pick up all of this psychological profile? And I said, most of the times, but I do have an ability, because I've learned the prophetic first. I do have an ability to turn it off, and maybe about 90% of the time it can be off and I can actually enjoy myself. But they're just, it's textbook. It's textbook. As soon as you meet someone that you can't even say anything about to them, you know they're insecure. And it's hard when you're around people you love that you still can't tell the truth to, because they're so insecure they can't hear you. It's hard because you're sitting there saying, if they would just listen to me, first, maybe if they would just trust me, and then if they would listen to me, I can help heal their land. I can help bring them through this level of insecurity, but they're so defensive. This is what's hard too for me, because I recognize all of this so much more now. When people show up and start being defensive, I feel so uncomfortable for them. I've gotten better in the last 2 years, I'd say, but I start feeling so uncomfortable for them because it's like, oh my God, they are showing their insecurity right now. And I kind of like look around the room like, does anybody else recognize this for what it is? Because defensiveness is insecurity. There's no other definition for it. So I used to feel a little embarrassed for them that they would act out in such defensiveness in front of people. But the thing is, they don't know that they're acting out because they're really insecure. My heart felt that. See, that's where I'm at with this. Yep. So I'm in the meeting. I'm like, oh my God. And I want to kick them and say, stop, 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 stop. And then after the meeting, say, come in for a minute. What responded in that meeting today was your insecurity. You didn't show up in your leadership. You didn't show up in your self-confidence. You didn't show up even with all you are the most informed person in this room. You are the most skilled person in this particular issue, in this meeting. You should be leading this meeting. But because you let your insecurity show up, you're always a student and never a teacher. Always the student and never the teacher, because your insecurity shows up. When did I act insecure? I'm not going to let people say what they want. I'm not going to let people walk. No one's going to walk over you. Be confident and be secure and be self-aware. But you're always the student and never the teacher, because your insecurity shows up. Sit down, replay, drop the mic. Yes, I need to listen to this again. Always the student and never the teacher, because your insecurity shows up. If people could just trust those that has this information, this education, this information, this training to help them. Listen, I had a client today, right? And we were talking and we were like, it's the beginning of the year. So let's just kind of go over the last year, what we want to focus in a little bit more on, what we can let off of a little bit, let the gas off of a little bit, what parts of our personal development plan we want to step on the gas a little bit more for. So I said, but before we do that, we're going to go over our life since we've been together. And I wrote it down, and I don't know if I wrote it down in front of me, but she said something so powerful, because her sessions used to be, here it is. Her sessions used to be in the car. She would be on the phone in her car with me, in part because of her living situation wasn't stable, but she's paying for coaching lessons, coaching sessions. So imagine how many people, family and friends, would be like, you don't have money to live anywhere and you're paying for a coach. You're foolish. You should see her life now. You should see her life now. She got a job making over $70,000 a year. Just closed on a new home. Her whole life is turning around. Started her own financial coaching business. She can't even take the clients that are signing up for it, because she has so many other projects that we're working on right now to better improve who she is. But she was literally in her car for our sessions, living. Do you get me? Listen to what she said to me today. And I told her I had to write this down. I was going to read this tonight. She said, Apostle, I had a vehicle to drive, but I didn't know where I was going. And she didn't mean it by a cliche. She didn't mean it, by something that could be used in so many different ways. She literally only had a vehicle to drive, but literally she had nowhere to go. She didn't know where she was driving. She was like, I would literally sit in the car with you, on the phone, in the park, to have these sessions with you. She said, I had a vehicle to drive, but I didn't know where I was going. Ooh, woo. She just took me to the left for a long time on that because she meant it literally. Yes, it's profound. She meant it literally. Homeless, paying for coaching sessions. Then listen, this car was totaled that she was calling me from, and she was so hurt and so broken. Guess what? She got blessed with a new car, a much nicer car, more luxury car with payments that are cheaper than the car she was living out of. Just got a new house, launched her new financial coaching business in a car, but didn't know where she was going. And her coach gave her direction for her life that changed everything all around. I had to insert that right there. And I told her that I would too. Don't get defensive when people criticize you. Do not let your insecurity show up in the meeting. As a matter of fact, Pastor D, at our next leadership meeting, we need to put some signs on our neck when we're in our development sessions. What part of their personality is showing up right now? Ooh, because right now we don't see you by name. We see this aspect of you that we need to work on. Let's take it off. Let's get it together. Number 10, you accept that there's so much that you don't know. People who have high levels of self-awareness easily accept the fact that they don't know everything, and we can't know everything. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. That's what Aristotle said. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Consider the diversity of our world. Someone living in Central Europe may be the most competent person in their literature class, but at the same time, he or she has no idea what is going on in the schools of the Far East. That's normal. Not knowing things is typical. That's why we should accept that there's so much that we don't know. Pretending to know everything just doesn't work. And it's not useful either. But accepting that you don't know a lot of the things will help you focus on your goals and find out what is something you don't know but want to learn. More importantly, I'm going to change my own writing, but need to learn. Oh, good. I finished it tonight. If I can get these last two done. You can look at things from different perspectives and accept others' opinions. If I ask you whether you consider others' opinions while making a mistake, you're likely to agree. That's one of the biases that affect our decision-making process. In reality, looking at things from other perspectives isn't easy, but it's possible. I'm not saying that you should accept others' opinions and change your beliefs based on how others think. Instead, listen, trusting your belief is what makes people self-aware, but only if you respect others' opinions too, because you're self-aware. They're not trying to convince you and persuade you. And even if they are, they can't, because you're self-aware. Last one tonight, you don't avoid making hard decisions. Do you procrastinate about making decisions? Come on, if it's you, put it up there. Put the big P up on your chat. Do you procrastinate about making decisions? Do you avoid taking risks, even when you feel that they will help you grow? Then it's time to move on. Realizing your strengths and weaknesses is part of self-awareness. Sometimes it's important to make hard decisions and maybe even fail. I bet you all you P's up here have a problem also with failing, that you are probably all perfectionists. A good majority of you are. It's hard to make decisions and even fail. Why? Because successful people acknowledge that taking risks is a part of self-development. Think about it. Do not try to assess your thoughts and feelings objectively if you chronically avoid making difficult decisions. Think about it. Do you try to assess your thoughts and feelings objectively if you chronically avoid making difficult decisions? You can't. All right. Tomorrow, I'm going to have another assessment for you. We're moving on. Are y'all doing all right with these assessments? We got another assessment for you tomorrow. And matter of fact, we'll send it out to you early tomorrow so that maybe after church, when you're enjoying your dinner, you can answer the assessment. You can get it into your coaches and they'll have time to review it by Monday. Thank you, Jerry. Very good. So tomorrow we're going to have another assessment. And this assessment now is going to be level 2. How self-aware are you? Self-awareness assessment. Self-awareness assessment. Thank you, Pastor D. She said, we're doing good. Renee said, this is deep. Bravo. Great session. Yay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Not wasting your time. Nobody's wasting my time. Frederica's still breathing. We just put that back on you tonight. You're welcome, Ashley. You're welcome, Tanil. All right, another assessment tomorrow. We're done for tonight. Please continue working on reading your personality assessment if you haven't taken it. Number 2, continue working on how self-aware are you? Look inside yourself, look outside yourself, ask others. Those 3 steps. Please continue to work on that. And I think that's all I'm going to give you for tonight because tomorrow you're going to have another assessment. So I'm done. I pray that all hearts and minds are clear this evening. Latanya's probably typing up my post for me so I can post it. Thank you for being with me tonight. Again, check us out on any place you listen to podcasts. We are there. You can put Amazon on your television and the podcast is on Amazon. You can put Audible on there and it's listed on Audible. You can go to iTunes and Spotify and Google and we're there. And always go to YouTube. If I can ask again, please hit like right now before we hang up. Share, even if you share it to your own inbox, please. The sharing helps us a lot. And that's just your reasonable offering for the reasonable service that we're giving out to you today. Do not have a vehicle that you know how to drive, but don't know where you're going. And if that is you, call us. Call us. We can help you determine the destination of your life and your mind. Wow, Keisha, that is God. She says, I love listening to my podcast. Your voice is so soothing. And of course, like everyone, I hate my voice, but I did invest in this equipment so my voice can be a little softer. So thank you for sharing that with me. I needed to hear that myself tonight. All right. Ready? 3 John 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, go. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. God bless you and good night. We'll see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. and be ready for another assessment. You've been given instructions to finish your work. Grace and peace be unto you. We love you. God bless you.
Let it Let it